While the headset is really comfortable, I don't know what material the pads are made out of. I've looked through the manual and I've even messaged Psyko Audio themselves, and they still won't tell me what the pads are exactly made out of. They kind of feel velvety, but I'm not 100%. And another thing is lint gets on them like crazy. I have a dog, so I often find dog hair on my headset after I got done cleaning it the day before. So that is kind of a pain in the butt. Otherwise, the pads are really comfortable. It's a constant lint trap. As far as customer service goes with the emails, I always got a response within at least a day and a half, 2 days from me emailing Psyko Audio. Really fast. And while I did get a response email from Psyko Audio, they still didn't tell me what material it was made out of, but they did tell me how to clean it. Just use the same kind of deduster air cans that you use to dedust your computer on the pads. Just make sure not to shoot it directly into the bass speakers inside the ear cups. That's what they said. Even though the headset isn't marketed as soundproof, that is one thing that did bother me, was that this headset wasn't soundproof. And its headband isn't soundproof either, so whenever you're listening to stuff, you have it fairly loud, you can hear it pretty loud. Here, let me play you something. Just an example, the sound leaks from the headband. That's all from the headband. I don't have any speakers on but this headband from the headset, so it's really loud. So it can be really distracting, and it's really hard to play in a room where other people are having, like, the TV's on and a bunch of other things that, like a dog barking in the background, can really take your focus away from the game, which is really annoying. And I have no idea how, but I hope that somehow in the future Psyko Audio can figure out a way to make these things soundproof. That would be sweet. Something else I think that should be mentioned is that this headset is pretty heavy. It weighs about a pound, and right away from the first time I put it on, it was pretty heavy, and it was kind of uncomfortable. But within the first few hours of testing it out, I was not noticing it anymore, and I got used to it, and it wasn't heavy. But at first it is heavy and uncomfortable, but if you give it a chance, it's not a problem. As far as the PC amp goes, it seems pretty solid. It doesn't have rubber feet on the bottom, which I really wish it did, because it slides all over my desk at the slightest movement if I jerk my cord too hard, and it has fallen off my desk several times. It's got a solid build and it's still working, so it seems to be able to take a little bit of a beating, but I really wish it would have rubber feet to keep it in place. Sound quality for listening to regular movies and music, like 2.1 audio basically, is pretty decent. I wouldn't give it any 5-star rating or 10-star rating or whatever. I would definitely give it decent. It could be better. Sounds a little tinny and sounds exactly like the headset is designed, like sound is going through tubes down to the ear cup. It could be better, and I can't wait to see Psyko Audio improve that in the future. One other thing that I hear a lot of complaints about in a lot of reviews, and I kinda sorta have to agree with, is the amount of bass that you have to sacrifice in order to make the directional positioning a lot better. Most of the time I prefer, and I found with this headset, is just to turn the bass almost all the way down. If it's a single player game, just turn it up halfway and enjoy the game. But if it's a multiplayer game, I prefer to turn it almost all the way down. And it would be great for Psyko Audio to come up with a solution to this, to find some kind of balance, because I do like having bass in my games. It just makes the experience a lot better. Unless you purchase some Y connectors, you're going to be stuck like this, having to disconnect and reconnect your actual surround sound speakers for the headset from your sound card continually over and over. That can become a pain in the butt unless you get Y connectors, although I've heard complaints that the audio isn't as crisp when you use Y connectors. So for the price tag, I think Psyko Audio should include some Y connectors that don't mess with the audio, and I would also like to see multiple colors for the headset in the future. That would be awesome. Green's my favorite color, so I would like to see a green headset. Also a carrying case for $300? Come on. I really think a carrying case should have been included for something like this. Wrapping up this review, I give this headset a solid 9 for directional audio and surround sound for multiplayer games. You just pretty much almost can't get any better than this. As far as other reviews that I've seen online, it seems to be trumping Astros and the Triton headsets out there, which I have not tried personally, and I would like to put face to face against this headset to see how it stands up. But I do give it a solid 9 for multiplayer games. For single player games and just 2.1 audio, I give it a 5. It's decent, but it definitely could use some improving. The bass starts to give out when you crank it all the way up. It sounds a little weird. As far as how the build is, it's pretty sturdy. For the fact of it being almost all plastic, I've grabbed this thing and I threw it on my ground and it survived, and the sound still sounds great. So it's pretty sturdy build. I've dropped the amp several times and it's still working. Also, great build. So my final verdict for this headset is, if you plan on going pro or semi-pro or want to go pro or are pro in the pro leagues for some game on a PC, this is a must-have. You need this headset. But if you want this headset to experience surround sound in a single-player game, then it's a waste of $300. However, if you're going to go pro for a game, you definitely would want to check out this headset. So that's my review for this awesome headset. Once again, this is FSA Guy 808 and Genocide from Steam and YouTube. Please rate, thumbs up, and leave your comments down below.